Team left for the Australian production boys to cheer on, and they are coming up against Endpoint for that Pro League spot. One of these boys will be fighting out in Pro League next season. Endpoint looking for that redemption arc. They've been to Pro League before, they've been there, they got slapped around a bit and then they came straight back down, but looking for it once more. It's a very similar story for the Renegades. We've seen them knocking around the higher tiers of CS, but never quite found the consistency to stay there. And so we have two of, I don't want to call them the rejects of Pro League. The drop downs, perhaps, is the better word.
Ouch. Yeah.
The relegations. There we go. The relegations of Pro League. Fighting it out, starting with Dust2. And as you said, a couple of very volatile maps. Inns is already into lower tunnels, and this is going to be a straight B rush. A UKCS classic to start things off. Hatz drops the smoke, tries to get alive, stay for a few more moments inside of the site. Inns is caught by NertZ on the flank, and Hatz, well, he's just waiting for time inside of the smoke. Crucial will grab him. Liaz sure he finds a kill, but he's losing teammates left, right, and center, with Alistair also dinked up in the early contact. This B retake starts to feel like it's impossible already.
Yeah, looking like it, considering the health on Alistair. They don't have a kit in their possession either, and Endpoint aren't really looking to give them an inch of ground. As you can see, they're all holding. They'll be ready to just peek as soon as they find contact off of each other, and, well, that's not even necessary. Mighty Max hits an instant headshot. It's all on Alistair. Yeah, no miracle to be found. Maybe a kill would have been nice. Would have been a bit of extra money in the bank, but that's not even going to be allowed. Endpoint pick up the opening pistol round here for themselves. It's, as you said, an interesting map pool, because after this one especially, it is middle ground maps all the way, so I'm looking forward to what could be a very close game, but it's not a close first pistol round. That was a convincing one.
Very basic strategy call as well, not looking to mess around, just we're going to rush B, and they land it pretty much flawlessly.
They had grey spawns again.
They're going to do it again, aren't they? They're just going to barrel straight into a B site. The moment is wide open. Hatz is just starting to rotate in on that 5-7, but the flashes are excellent from Endpoint. Kirby leading the charge. NertZ there for the assist. There's tags on the cross, sure. I mean, you're looking at 4 players who've taken damage, but the reality of Dust2 is this round's done. Nice spawns, nice timing, free B site. And I like this from Order. I'm going to be honest, it's one of those ones, it feels wrong in the moment because you know you've got damage on those crossing players, you know you've tagged up several and you can see it. Obviously they don't know for sure, but they'll have their suspicions. But that B-bomb site, it's just not retakeable in these kind of scenarios. You can see the tunnels control 3 players inside of the site. You've even got Crucial holding for a spawn flank. There's just no way it's going to land, so it's better for Order to back away, keep their hands on the fort that they've got. The scout in the hands of Alistair can do some damage, and some good pistols to back it up as well coming into the next round, which otherwise would be a full eco.
Yeah, I mean, even if you flipped it and it was a 5-on-4 for Order going into the retake, considering they only have a scout and some pistols, you'd probably still say the save would be a reasonable decision. So definitely in the 4-on-5 there, it made sense to pull it through, have an attempt at what basically the same thing here again. I mean, you won't have armor, you won't have a pistol on Hatz, but he pulls out a HE, might be able to do some damage to make things a little bit easier for the pistols and the scout even. So far, you've got to say Endpoint doing a good job. Clean round as well. They're able to keep their economy in a stable position already. And obviously they have the chance to potentially keep on adding on top of it right now. And they know what they're up against as well. They just go over towards that long control.
Yeah, knowing full well there will be some saves, suspecting more than likely that there is a scout somewhere on this server around the pistols. So, as you said, just taking it simple. There really hasn't been any overwhelming complexity to Dust2 so far from Endpoint. Just what the doctor ordered, though. So many players on that roster. I mean, you were talking about NertZ, Kirby, Crucial, and Surreal as well. Very capable fraggers, so you just need to put them in the position to get it done. Doesn't need to be overly complicated, and that's what we're seeing here. Long control turns into a cross smoke set. They're going to look to hit this site. There is a heavy stack here. The one disadvantage of not playing complex CS is it's very easy to read. So as they make their way up onto the site, plenty of bodies here for Order and plenty of flashes as well as the swing comes in. Liaz trying to get that deagle singing early, but Surreal is up for it. And there's still plenty of time left as well. 50 seconds on the clock. The second batch of cross smokes are going to come in. That bomb looking to join the 2 teammates on the ramp. Sico up close and personal. Some opportunities maybe on that 5-7, but Surreal's having none of it. Already cleaning up a couple of nice kills. Yes, the dinks are coming in, but Crucial is now there with the AK. Mighty Max chiming in with the Galil. And again, it's a huge amount of damage for Order. I mean, there's 3 players who are a bullet from death with pretty much any gun. But it's not going to be any more than that. Endpoint will back away. Keep 4 or 5 alive. Inns will look maybe for an exit kill here. And with plenty of low HP players, it certainly feels viable. A tag onto Crucial. But that gives his position away. And at this point, yeah, really nothing more he can do. So a clean 3-0 start. All 5 players kept up as it stands for Endpoint. I will say Mighty Max is playing with fire a little bit. Staying by the bomb for that long with a 10 HP Galil on him.
Just about makes it across as well. Kirby even gets that final kill on the Mac 10 just to add a little bit extra to the bank. So another clean round. All 5 manage to survive. They'll get some nades out of it. They'll probably keep the SMGs and maybe just try something quicker once again, considering this is going to be the bonus round for them. It was interesting that it's grabbed an MP7. You don't see it too often. Might be a little bit better than the Mac 10 perhaps coming into this round. Not too sure. I never buy it, so I actually don't know how good it is versus armor.
He's trying to replicate the Chris J of old. Used to get so much done with that MP7. Crucial, the man looking to get something done early here, though, and he just straight loses the gunfight there. Not a lot to it. The flash from Alistair, whilst it gets the assist, was actually a little late. Still finds the opening in this bonus round for Endpoint, though. Order a man up. In a really solid position here as well. Endpoint, it was very clear there was only one place they were going to go after Crucial goes down. 4 players in the upper tunnels. Hatz with a good belt of utility to stop this pop as well. He's still got smoke, still got mollies as well. So as soon as this utility goes over the top, you've got to imagine, yeah, molly comes in, it lines them up for Inns and Hatz. They demolish the hit. NertZ on the MP7 does at least manage to nab himself a kill. But with bomb down outside of the B doors, he's retreating deep in towards spawn. I mean, ideally, grab himself an AK-47. Maybe Crucial's out long, go for a very long flank around the entire map, but wants to make sure he dies here as well. I mean, MP7 definitely not worth saving.
No, I mean, even just get the extra kill, and at that point your money is going to be plentiful. You'd have enough left over, and then in the reserve after the buy that you'd probably be looking towards buying it again. So definitely worth giving this a go. Doesn't have the greatest combo weapons. A Deagle maybe as a secondary right now would be a nice option, I'd say. He's got the dual Berettas. We'll see. The MP7 is the primary as he drops right into the crosshair of Sico, who was playing very, very passively around A right there. Obviously expecting that if the flank was to come true, it would probably be towards long or short, so efficient angle definitely. But a pretty straightforward round right there. Good opening into the game from Order. They're able to do it in clean fashion as well, importantly. But that was the bonus round. There was 3 SMGs in play. Now they've got to try and do it again up against the full buy with all the rifles, with the op as well for Crucial. And even after they do that, there's still enough in the reserve for another.
I like them taking the time out as well. There's an intelligence to that. The bonus round is what it is, right? It's a little bit of an opportunity to try and get something cheeky. You know you're out firepowered. You know you've not got the guns you want. That goes south, fine. We'll take the pause, reevaluate. This is where we want to shine. This is when we've got everything we want. Same to be said of Order, of course, having got through that bonus round quite cleanly, in fact. Just the 1 kill. Able to grab all the rifles up in the hands of Alistair. He's going to take it out towards long, see if he can get anything done again. This time, Mighty Max charging through. Utilities enough to put him down early. And once more, Endpoint. That one-man push, it doesn't feel like the most intelligent play in the world. And now they're charging out mid. Kirby trying to get in through the door. Will just about manage that trade, but on 27 HP. Alistair able to retreat with the relative safety of spawn. Continuing to burn utility, trying to push this AWPer back further and further, but without B tunnels control, mid-B split not really viable. We start to realize that, and the bomb starts to shimmy its way up short, but again, that loss of all long control, Kirby's going to hold for any over-aggression, but you can't imagine Sico's going to realistically push through those doors. Or is he? Kirby gets the freebie.
Nice. Oh, and a miss shot from Alistair. I was going to say should let them start crossing over towards the bomb site now. Fortunately getting caught a little bit by the man down in CT. Few pop shots come in. It slows them just enough to let Alistair set up on the fallback angle. And with that claim, at the very least, the advantage as the bomb goes down. So they're set up well for the retake and boost as well for Liaz. Spots Surreal, gets the wall bang, and Kirby, okay. I mean, yeah, he goes for the spray. Maybe that works with his shaky spray. I think that might have been maybe the best situation for his sort of spray right there with all three of them grouped up. Unfortunate, it doesn't work out. I think he landed one bullet on each of them.
Oh, so, you saw it.
What would the chances have been that all three of those bullets would be headshots even?
You saw it. Don't lie to me. He's on for the ace clutch spray down. He's got to give it a go.
The left, the right shake, and they're all just dead. He just basically looks at them. Yeah.
Not quite to be, though. Kirby not able to rein the spray in. The shake not quite accurate enough. Still will be a solid enough buy. NertZ the only player sacrificing the utility to try and get this one going. That's an interesting molly straight out of spawn all the way down mid, trying to deny this control. Kirby this time. They've tried three different players out long. Kirby's the man to get it going. Finds a nice pick onto the first and can fall away as well. Concedes the control. Somehow gets in and out of long whilst finding a pick onto Sico. And doesn't take a single point of damage. That's a monstrous entry from Kirby. Man advantage found for the first time in a while for Endpoint as well. And you can see just starting to turtle a little bit on the CT side of things. Inns wants to stay in and around that mid control, aware that his B site anchor in Hatz is a little isolated at this point. And where do Endpoint look to take this? They've got good control at the moment. A nice little dink onto Crucial through the wall from Inns. But it still is that 5-on-4 man advantage, and you can see Order, they want to make a play here. They want to retake some map control. It's going to be Alistair towards short. Couple of players ready and waiting to receive, but Crucial looking the wrong way. Back to short. It's a free swing for Alistair. They bait the shot, but there's support there. NertZ somehow guns both of them down. Missed shots from Alistair and Liaz. Punished brutally by NertZ, and now Inns is the lone rotator. Hatz still just making his way through CT. Inns has actually held the trigger discipline here. Pop flashed out. NertZ has taken the site. The bomb is yet to commit. They want to see what the situation is. They want to get an idea of the rotations. NertZ still alive and kicking on this site, just buying time as the bomb now transferring back. But that's cost them two players. Inns and Hatz combined. They're both desperately low on health, but they're going to give this one a crack. They've got 2 kills, and they reckon they can land this retake.
It's not going to be easy getting through these choke points, as you said, with basically no health at all to work with. One positive is, I suppose, that at this point there's only a flash left in the hands of Surreal. It doesn't look like he's really going to get a chance to use it either. Both of them just pretty determined on holding these angles, which is probably the way to go about it. They're going to try and double up on door, it looks like, hoping at least the trade can be found when they move in, but yeah, it's not going to work out. Inns falls, Hatz decides, I've got an AK that is a bit more valuable right now to me than just wasted it going in, trying to get maybe one of the 2 kills at most and then being traded anyway. So definitely worthwhile falling back. He actually gets the op, so that's why he was falling back around.
Oh,
they could have done with both weapons though. That would have given them a perfect buy if they just saved both of them.
Not to be. I think it's those 2 kills really G them on, right? The fact that they get 1 each as they're transferring.
It's the start of the great clutch, but they just didn't have what they needed to end it.
Exactly. You know, if it's a 3-on-2, 4-on-2, they're never cracking it. But those 2 kills just give them a little bit of temptation. And they do still manage to string that buy together. All fair play to them. But that one saved AWP is the backbone. There's rifles for everyone. Again, utility a little limited, but they're not going to be too fussed about that. And again, Endpoint want to pass some pressure on towards this B site early. NertZ this time not flying out the doors. Trusting his team instead to take the upper tunnels control. Mollied back twice from A long. He'll have to concede it entirely. And again, just heavy presence in towards these B tunnels. Not interested in A whatsoever at the minute. NertZ a solo in mid, waiting for Kyoba to join him. There is a solid setup for a mid-B split, potentially. The problem is Order have fallen into a very default Dust2 style. 2B, 1 mid, 2A. With that A long control, they can afford to rotate the extra man over, and it makes these kind of splits all the more dangerous to go for.
Does seem like Endpoint they're expecting the aggression to come in, considering the way they're holding. Even the player in behind Xbox was watching towards top mid just in case they got flanked through long house. They are getting ready now for this B split to come in. 2 ready on the B bomb site. Quick rotations that can come through the spawn. It doesn't seem like they're going to smoke it off on the way out either. Instead, wanting the fight, and Alistair unfortunately gives it to them. That actually prompts them now to move this back over towards A. They're going to leave 1 player pressure in B. That's Mighty Max. And I think he might have just confirmed the bomb site's clear. doesn't really manage to call it into his teammates, unfortunately. So now they've got to get the entries on towards A, and Liaz is putting up at least a little bit of a fight. Good nade doing great damage as well. Sico and Hatz, because of that, are able to mow them down, and although it does end up in a 1 on 2, it is NertZ on 3 health, so I don't love his chances here.
Endlessly overcomplicating it. Endpoint, they had the rotation away, they had the call. Instead, it's NertZ on 3 HP to try and clutch this one up, and Inz is through his molly, doesn't realize it. Free kill. And you're right, that just felt like it should have been a complete reset, right? 2 players rotating off the B site, just bail. There's no need to go out short. You know everyone's coming that way, but Endpoint clearly thought they could make it out. Second tactical timeout being called already, and I can't say I blame them. That definitely felt like they dropped the ball. Really unfortunate one here, and you can see the setup was solid on A, right? There's been no pressure long, there's been nothing to draw the rotations away. So it's just a 2-man hold, coming out short, dodge the utility, there's no second prong to it, it's all too easy to clean up. Economy a little disjointed at this point for Endpoint as well, as they take their second tactical. Mighty Max and NertZ are in solid positions, but nobody else really there with them. Got to imagine it's some kind of a half buy. Use it to spend a bit of time just thinking out your strats. Working out how you want to play this one, because it's felt like Endpoint have had their chances, right? They've had their opportunities to break into sites, to get rounds on the board. And it's been a bit hit and miss with them taking them. No investment at all into this round, realistically. A couple of P250s and a Deagle. They had money to maybe buy some armor, even get a hero rifle out onto someone and still be able to buy into the next, but not feeling it at all, Endpoint.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, because as you said, they get 1900, so, I mean, Mighty Max could have at least got himself maybe a P250 or something, could have dropped 1 or 2 over as well, just to give them a chance to get some damage maybe in, because you know the economy at this point hasn't really grown for Order. If you could have taken a couple of weapons, it would do long-term damage. Okay, Surreal. Never mind, not quite able to get the finish there, unfortunately. Actually didn't really do much damage at all, only done 20. That's unfortunate. Either way, Order get their 4th round. They tie us up at 4-4, and well, we're back onto the guns now to see if Endpoint can bring themselves back to life again. It does seem like the defaults are working well for them if they can do something similar like they did before, just abuse those rotations, but then perhaps just slow it down afterwards. I think they'd be looking much, much better. It was just that they pushed everywhere. They found success at one of the places, but they just didn't really have the time at that point to try and fall back off and work off of each other anymore. Because even if they fell back short, they would have been heard, of course, by the players rotating to CT.
Yeah. Just guilty of overcomplicating it a little bit, I think, which is ironic, because the first 3 rounds we were calling, they're just playing simple strats and it's working. This time they're going to try and lurk out a smoke onto B with a flash timing. In's blinded up, still finds the first, will be traded. Legged up by Crucial in that early AWP battle, but Hatz is there to back his man up again. And once more, Kirby looks very isolated over towards this B site. Endpoint, they're trying everything and they're just not quite sure if they want to give it a go yet. Kirby now has secured the B site. Will allow for that bomb to make its transfer on the back of Crucial, and a 3v4 after plant that I'm sure Order are going to have a crack at. Molly goes down, won't deny the plant. Won't even tickle away at Crucial, is allowed to escape the site freely. Now it gets interesting. Tag through the door onto Crucial. 3v4 retake. Molotov buys them 10 seconds in the window, but it won't be much. Plenty of utility available as well for this CT side. Molotovs start flying in, trying to flush out these close angles. And the pop flash over the top. Here we go. Kirby to hold the door. Multiple bodies headed his way. He can't get anything done. NertZ now out of the tunnels, only able to find the one, and it's smooth sailing on the retake from Order. 3 quick kills, only losing the 1 man on entry as well. Really impressive stuff from them. Their CT side goes from strength to strength.
Yeah, since the guns have come out, they've looked really good, and have also begun to build a pretty decent economy, because even in these gun rounds, as you can see, they're managing to live with 3 players. They're managing to have relatively clean rounds. So Endpoint are, fortunately at the moment, struggling to crack their way back onto the scoreboard. That's an interesting purchase from NertZ. Going for the Negev.
That's definitely a misbuy.
I'm presuming so, because he also bought a Tech 9.
I think Mighty Max actually bought it, because he'd lost like 1850.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And then he's dropped it to NertZ because he's got ahead. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of pure madness. It doesn't make any sense. He's going to take it out towards A long. He's going to boost it. Oh,
he's rocking the Tech 9 anyway. That's why I could see it on the UI. I wasn't sure if it was just kind of glitch now. Sometimes it does that and shows the wrong weapon that they're using. But no, he's happy enough with the Tech 9. That would have been the perfect position of Alden for the Negev as well, holding for this long push. Yeah, he gave it the crucial. Like, there you go, man. I don't really want this.
Oh, don't say I blame him. If you wanted to summarize UKCS in a nutshell, just screenshot this.
Accidental
Send it to at Alan Hender on Twitter. Sico's going to try and go out the long doors. Fails with the double kill. Here comes the Negev. Gets absolutely nothing done. And Liaz finishes the job. Flawless round for Order. I'm not even going to bother trying to analyze that one. It was what it was. Endpoint are going to have the rifles now. An opportunity to try and get something done. And yeah, this was... I mean, the Negev is a misbuy, and I applaud Crucial for trying to use it. I mean, it's yeah. It is what it is. Let's leave it be. Galil out for Mighty Max. Rifles for everyone else. AWP in the hands of Crucial. As they look to make the difference here. Alistair wants the peak as well. He's tried to use his teammate to bait the cross. Crucial's baiting the shot as well. Battle of the AWPers down mid early. Crucial wants it. Scoped up. He'll hold his ground for now. How long can Alistair stay posted? He started to relocate now, aware that there is the possibility of that mid presence. Kirby gets the smoke down. Support line ran by Inns. It's a nice early setup again. No real losses for anybody. Just teasing out this early mid controller Endpoint. Working out their way into the early short presence as well. As the smoke fades, Alistair will start to post up on short. Crucial is waiting for any kind of push. Any over-aggression will be punished. But for now, Alistair is dancing the dance brilliantly. Just holding off, holding exactly the right amount of map control where he can't be spotted. Counter molly goes in as well. And with 55 seconds left, Endpoint haven't found much of anything. They've got their early control. It's going to have to be a set play at this point. And Inz's nade could do a lot of heavy lifting here. As the XX starts to come out, it'll chip away at 2. And as they push on in, there's 3 players in close vicinity of this site. Liaz inside of the site itself, dropping flashes, trying to stay alive, but Kirby full blind, he's just too close. There's nothing to do. His bullets physically cannot miss. Inns next up, does catch Kirby on that ramp. Mighty Max trying to plant the bomb. Crucial trying to provide cover, but it's a missed shot, punished. And the man advantage back the way of Order now. Make it no man advantage. I thought it was 2. Alistair kills his own teammate. And now it's falling apart. It's all on Inns in the 1v3. He's got the first. Knows there's a man in towards short. Surreal smoke will give him a little bit of breathing room. Molly into Gandalf forces him into the open. He needs this fight and he knows it ends. He knows there's a man there in and amongst that smoke. NertZ is trying to play distraction, but it won't quite land. I'm not sure how Alistair killed his teammate in the end there, but it really was the undoing of Order.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Didn't quite manage to catch it, unfortunately, but it does allow for Endpoint to manage to finally get themselves back on the scoreboard now. Although Order have obviously a pretty good economy. We had mentioned they had built it up to a decent position. They're going to also call a pause immediately, similar to what we got from Endpoint once they lost the round earlier on. Might even see perhaps a double up setup if they wanted to pull it out. It's Dust2 after all.
I think you have to call a pause if you've just lost a retake because your AWP has domed one of your teammates.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Be awkward. Tiny bit of movement, maybe it just flies off, hits them in the head. Had that happen, sometimes they run right in front of you as you're about to shoot. Happens less often, in fairness. But,
whatever it was, it's a 5th T-side round for Endpoint, and that starts to feel like a solid T-side on this iteration of D2. NertZ this time with a spawn AWP, looking for the pick, won't quite connect it. Crucial lies in wait, has it back. And long control again, taken by Order. We have to say they've been fantastic at doing that on the CT side. Endpoint really haven't had a lot of control to work with. By and large, either rushes or set plays has been the order of service, and it's worked out mixed results, I'd say, for both sides.
Yeah, it seems like this time they want to just kind of hold out for the smoke that's down towards long rather and try and reclaim it, expecting very likely for one of these players to be aggressive. And actually, Sico's already played this position. It was versus the weaker buy earlier on, I believe, right? So whether they expect it now up against the guns is the question. Hopefully they'll at least be cautious as they begin to edge forward. One player just lurking around lower who can hopefully slow down rotations, maybe get something done over towards short. And while Sico gets away with 2, honestly, that's going to be enough probably from that position right there. He slows them massively. There's still an op on towards Car that should be able to cause some trouble once they begin pushing forward as well. So yeah, it's not looking great for Endpoint. They've taken a lot of damage for honestly not a lot of control over towards long.
Yeah. It's 2.5 kills as well, really, because it takes Surreal down to a one shot for any of these M4s, which is an understated thing, but very important. Kirby does take advantage of a slightly wayward spray, levels things out at an even 3-on-3. And off the back of it, again, they must have seen a weakness here. They must think that Hatz is the man to target, because time and again they've headed towards this B site. Smoke to the doors. Pop flashes come out. They got to clear Hatz, though. He tucks himself back at the site. Mighty Max, not knowing where to look, still hits the flick. And that's the man advantage now. 8 seconds left. They're going to try and deny the plant, but Mighty Max is having none of it. Standing in for the AWP as Crucial went down and doing a hell of a lot of heavy lifting with it as well. Alistair will have to back away. A little bit of magic from the in-game leader there. 6-all the scoreline. Endpoint starting to see why they picked Dust2 now, Dean.
Yeah, you can understand. I mean, it's never I wouldn't say a safe bet, because it comes down to who's in form at the moment, because you normally just play out defaults and make the decisions based on where you can find the success, but it does seem like it's working out for them now that they've found their footing on the D side. A lot of times that first round can be the hardest to really crack through. Alistair, though, at the very least gets to save the off. They have some economy at least behind it, enough to go ahead and force up with Alistair dropping over a rifle, so a pretty decent position. But yeah, great recovery considering, of course, that double that came in from Sico over towards the blue bin on long. So managing to, despite being down in the early moments, still recover. Question is now, can they fully break through and, well, break order? Because so far they've fallen short of that task. If they could force the eco at this point, a 9-6 half would actually be looking pretty likely.
If they do, it'll be a solid position to take their map pick, put the pressure back on order. Mighty Max starts as he means to go on. Big opening pick. Surreal on the corner of the smoke spot. Sico as well. For the first time in a long time, it's a full commit into long, and I think it caught order just a little off guard there. Dropped their early utility. They've had that for free for the last few rounds, and I think they were sort of expecting the same again, just not quite looking as crispy as they have been. And this time it's Endpoint with the early 3-on-5. Aggression across the board from order is the response. Hatz working his way into short. Inns pushing for the upper tunnels. They want to be absolutely sure they're heading in the right direction here. Kirby on a very passive position. Won't be able to spot anything out. It's going to be Alistair under pressure on the car, trying to play over the top of his smoke, but Endpoint aren't interested. Nins has pushed too far. Kirby, he was waiting for exactly that moment, and as soon as it comes, clean headshot. B-site wide open for the taking, and you can see the panic rotations already. Hatz trying to make his way in, does get the double dink conversion, and Endpoint off the back of that are going to be going straight back towards Alistair on A. He's pushed up short. Mighty Max will be his first issue to deal with as the cross is starting to be planned now. He's got to hold from 2 angles at once, but for the time being, he's going to have short to himself. NertZ just working his way to the site, and the missed shot will be his undoing. Hatz again has to be conceding the save, and they know where he is as well, so Mighty Max is already thinking about hunting him.
Yeah, like they're going to catch him from lower? No, not quite. Okay. So for now, he's going to hang on to his life. Smoke down, nade in as well. Player pushing up mid, that likely is going to come through the spawn and cut him off, and there's still a ton of time on that bomb as well. So if they want to get him right now, they should be able to, unless Hatz hits some ridiculous shots. Yeah, no real good angle for him right now, unfortunately. The economy going into this next round is only really going to afford them the default pistols they spawn with, unfortunately. Nice shot. Won't expect the second, though, and it's the op as well. So Crucial's is able to take things pretty safe. 7-6. Endpoint managed to take the lead, and considering at 1 point order, we're sitting, I think it was 6-3 even, was it? Gotta say, it's been a pretty mighty comeback and a pretty swift turn in control as well. And we're not going to see it turning around quite yet either, as order will get one more buy, but it won't be until this next round, sadly.
Should be an opportunity for Endpoint to stabilize. Interestingly, both teams very strong T side on Dust2. Order even more so than Endpoint. Whew, big nade stack. Unfortunate not to get the kill as well. Surreal knocking on death's door, but he manages to get out of there. Should mean that there's at least a potential kill on the board here. And that's what you'll be looking for if you're ordered, just a little bit. Any kind of niggling damage, as Surreal has bogged down himself in AWP. Crucial will drop to the AK-47, and for Endpoint, just deathballing it up now. It's very simple. Very difficult to mess up, and I think that's the key here. Head as a group, make sure you trade out your kills, and this should be a free round. 3-man stack over towards B is understandable from Order as well, given how often Endpoint have looked to end there. For the time being, it is that mid control, and it is a relatively even split across the board, so Order have got fed up of waiting on B. They want to come and take the fight to Endpoint in mid.
Oh, there's one kill from Alistair. Fortunately, unless they manage to somehow get themselves into a winnable position, then it won't really matter much, because of course the damage isn't going to impact them a lot with only 1 round left in the half anyway. But yeah, despite some promising signs there with the 5-7 of Hatz also finding a kill, it is all on Sico. He hasn't got himself a weapon at the moment. There was one somewhat towards the top of mid there, I believe, but at this point it's being watched, so moving back around isn't really much of an option. I guess he was hoping someone will maybe try and exit through tunnels so that he can pick himself up another kill. It's going to be A6, as expected, coming into this round. Order will desperately want to take that 7th round here to finish off the half and ensure that if things are to go a little bit poorly with the pistol round not going their way, that things don't get too far out of hand. Sad we didn't get to see the Zeus in play there as well.
Not quite.
Is he going to get the
There's been a lot of them bought up by the Aussie teams, and they've never quite landed. There
was one on Nuke yesterday, and he swung around and domed the person with the AK then immediately as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
It
shout.
was easy, yes. Other than that, yeah, I think you're right. None of them have worked out.
I mean, for $200, you can't blame them for trying. Aggression into the lower tunnels this time from Inns is paying off. Manages to nail NertZ, and they've got the mid control as well here. Endpoint aware they've given it up, have left Crucial to hold, but it's Liaz's patience towards those barrels. Knowing they've got the man advantage, trying to cling on to the map control they fought for. And Endpoint again, they take this long control. Uncontested in all reality. Order happy that they've got that man advantage and they can turtle with the control that already exists. Sico, the next issue behind this car. It does look like Endpoint are going for a straight long hit again, not really looking to overcomplicate things. They've got the utility. Plenty of it, in fact, can double pump on this long hit if they want to try and get some kills and then reset. Just starting to clear their way in now. Alistair up onto the site. Looks to provide overwatch. Sico on that car still. Flashes over the top. Molly to try and flush him out. No smoke available to him, so he just has to tuck tail and run, and they've dinked him through the wall. Crucial will find the AWP as Mighty Max takes out the car player. And suddenly it's an even 3-on-3, admittedly with damage done onto Mighty Max. Bomb yet to make that transfer. Kirby just about sneaking his way up now. And with just 30 seconds left, that Molotov in the hand of Inns could be crucial. He's managed to get it into a position on short. That heads towards the site now. Won't be able to deny the plant necessarily, but if they can catch Kirby on the cross, this gets ugly. Crucial knows it, starts to molly out Gandalf, wants to make sure his rifler can get inside of that site without an issue, and there it is, 10 seconds left, safe plant. Not the greatest one for these after plant positions, and they know it. Mighty Max and Crucial, they wanted to get back out long instead. They're staying close to the site, and Kirby's opened it up. Big headshot onto Liaz. Hatz is on a long old flank here. Crucial is flicking between the two angles, but he turns at the worst possible moment. Mighty Max knows he's got to deal with the player in CT and does so. Dodges the bullets of Inns for just a second as now he resets. Plays the headshot angle deep in CT and nails it. 9-6 as we head to the half. Endpoint looking to assert themselves on their map and get it done after the break. 9-6 a half, which I think both teams will take some satisfaction in. Endpoint stretching their legs on the T side, but Order able to hang with them till the very last. And this pistol round, Dean, feels like it could be pretty critical in deciding the fate of map 1.
Yeah, I mean, pistol rounds are always quite important, but going into the second half, especially when you've got a gap of 3+ rounds, it's going to decide whether your opposing team may be sitting double the score of you, or whether you may be tied up after those initial 3 rounds are played out. So definitely not a position Order want to be put in. This pistol round for them especially is important, and well, we'll see once we get live, because unfortunately we're facing a little bit of a pause that seems to be a technical. We've had very few of them, surprisingly.
It's a hype pause. It's to build the hype.
Yeah.
Builds the tension of the series. Right. That's what they've called it for. You've got .tac, .tech, and then you've got .hype, and they called that here just to really build us into this one. By coming in from Order suggests they've got a very specific plan for this. They've got some nice spawns for B as well, especially on Liaz. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, 2 P250s raid bossed into the hands of Hatz and Ins. But it doesn't look like B is the call. That looks to me like smokes to get across onto that A site, flashes to take the long control. But well, they've proved me wrong. Straight over towards B with 3 players.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a rush quite like what we've seen from Endpoint anyway. Instead, down into lower, looking to probably try and get a bit of control perhaps up towards the Xbox, or maybe see if they can keep NertZ busy in mid long enough for them to get close and overwhelm him, but that hasn't worked out. He's fallen back in towards CT for now. They'll be able to move in for control, as I said. The option of moving up short if they want with a lot of time. Of course, they can fall back, maybe even go out towards long and set up for the split if they want to. And especially with the B stack that's currently in place, as long as they head towards this A bomb site, then it is going to be favouring them for sure. Crucial. He's going to pretty much have to put in the defense on his own initially, considering NertZ's position. And then NertZ has the kit as well, so he can't charge in trying to help him out, or else he'll lose that and make the retake harder.
Early smokes drop. It feels like it's going to be a straight pop out short. 2 flashes available. Crucial looking to dodge them. They're dropping into CT, trying to put that pressure on NertZ, and instead it's Crucial out in no man's land. Nothing he can do. Strung up on the car by Order. Isolated that fight brilliantly. Looked like a set read as well. They knew who they were looking for, and they charge his man down. 4v5 on this retake now. Endpoint in a little bit of a pickle here. They've got a flash to get themselves into mid. They want to get some presence. Start to clear their angles, but 4 players now actually going to come through CT. That bomb slowly but surely ticking away. Like you said, NertZ has got the kit. 1 flashbang remaining to get them out of this, and here it comes. Misses everything. Liaz able to just take the fight as is. The dink's coming through. It will be a couple of kills for Kirby, though, making a 3rd as he's charging into this site on his own. Hatz with the response, but it's all on to the last man. Sico on that Glock up against NertZ, and he nails his man, but the time is low. It's desperately low, and I'm not sure even the kit will save them now. It will be a 7th. Order holding on. They can't get the kills, but the time is their ultimate friend.
Damn. Yeah, just that 1 extra kill from Sico, but it was Hatz on that P250. 2 quick kills as they were coming up the ramp. That's really what sealed the deal. Otherwise, there's 4 of them who charge up. They get that kill on Sico much quicker, and then with the kit, they have enough time to just about get that defuse in. So you've got to give them a big props. And then the shots when they matter, and, well, we're going to have a full eco now coming through from Endpoint, it seems. Not wanting to push the issue. They just buy up a nade. Other than that, USP is going to be retained, and well, we'll see what can be done. The only problem with this, of course, means going into the first gun round, there won't be an op. They won't have great nades either. They will just be straight onto the rifles pretty much. And Order have taken the approach where they'll be in a pretty secure position for that as well. They haven't pulled out any SMGs into this round. 1 or 2 probably would have been fine anyway. They avoided going heavy on them for sure. And they still have good utility to work with.
Yeah, they found themselves in a really solid position. In fact, 3 AKs, so not even sacrificing that much in terms of firepower. Normally, when you get to these sort of situations, you'll have 3 players on the Galil, and then potentially that makes up for the lack of firepower the CT side are going to be able to afford in the next when they've gone for this full eco, but not to be. Kirby holding the nades to try and dunk on this long hit as it looks to come through. Timing will be everything. There's bodies here to potentially dink up and get some damage, but the 2-man short hold now looking to push on through. The dink sure is there, but nothing more than that. And Kirby, nothing he can do. Demolition job on the stack as they head up onto the site. A clean 8th round for Order. And this is where, like you said, it starts to get interesting. Firepower will be bought up, but there's going to be some sacrifices made by Endpoint as they look to defend this Dust2.
Little, nice little round, keeping it clean anyway from Order. This is where we really find out how the CT side's going to start off for Endpoint. They have a FAMAS, unfortunately, but that let them get pretty much full nades on everyone. So overall, the buy not really lacking. We're not going to be seeing anything from the CTs in the early moments either. No aggression. Mid-aggression's become a little bit more common, but overall here on Dust2, you still don't really expect the CTs to go too aggressive. They're willing to sit back right now, wait out and see what the plan for Order is exactly. It seems like, again, they're just playing out the motions of slowly going out through lower tunnels, spam mid a bit, put your smoke down, eventually move up Xbox onto short, and maybe see if anything's going on around mid as well, if you can perhaps set up a B split.
Working their way through that early control. Doing a solid job of bleeding out the CT nades in the process as well. Talking about how Endpoint had done well to get full utility. Well, the overwhelming majority of it is gone with 55 seconds left on the clock. Last of those CT smokes starting to be deployed now. Still in a very standard setup here, Endpoint. Mighty Max is in towards Pit. He's going to be put under pressure from multiple bodies now with just the FAMAS to work with. Short hit to keep Crucial busy as well. There will be no support for Mighty Max here. It's all on this hold. Only two players here ready to receive it. Order going relatively quietly. They're all the way up site. Crucial wants a pot flash in, wants something to give him a peek. But now Mighty Max has got his own problems to worry about. Crucial doing what he can, but it's a 1-for-1. And Mighty Max trying to support him has given the game away. Liaz able to capitalize on the Pit player. And the man advantage found for Order. 15 seconds left. They need to get that bomb over site swiftly. Run boost to make sure it's not caught on the cross either. And now Endpoint with a decision to make. They need an early pick. And Kirby's found it out towards long. He gets the first. Flashbang just mistimed. Inns takes advantage for the refrag. And these two short players now are out in no man's land. NertZ does very well to even find one. But they're being chipped away at. They're stuck on short. Inns and Sico in fantastic afterplants until Surreal rips their head clean off. And it's just Inns on the corner. Surreal knows where he is. They're charging into the site now, and Surreal's got him. Endpoint somehow make that retake stick. The A site looking incredibly fragile, but they somehow get back in with NertZ and Surreal.
About like 65% sure that they were about to give up on that retake until Surreal got the kill while falling back as well. So yeah, that's a little bit awkward, you've got to say, for Order. If they had just held off, if they had tucked in for the extra few seconds, they might have just been given the round instead. Either way, good work by Endpoint, of course, coming through with what was a very crucial round, and with that, having a chance now if they can just claim one more to really start building up a lead, because they'd managed to break Order, of course, down onto the eco. They'd head up towards 12 at that point pretty easily. And then you're starting to get into the territory of maybe one or two gun rounds alone, deciding if Order can get themselves back into the map or not. So it's getting into dangerous territory. Been on a little bit of a pause this time, though. It was just a tactical, I believe. Order wanting to decide exactly what they're going to do with this buy, because they know exactly what the stakes are.
Big one to potentially decide the fate of the map and decide the momentum as well coming into Mirage, right? If you said, as you said, if Endpoint can break them, get into that sort of a position, then you really start to feel like they've got the momentum. Mirage, a very puggy map. All of these guys can play it, despite what the statistics may tell you, and then maybe Order just lose it out clean if they can get back into this, if they can scrap to the end, if they can maybe steal it away by breaking the economy of Endpoint instead. It's a very different picture. Big swing round this. And Order are making no mistakes. Slow presence in towards mid. NertZ dodging the bullets, dodging the nades. That smoke, the only thing keeping him alive at the moment. He wants to get over the top of it, and Alistair is watching for this. Missed shot. Just the foot of NertZ visible to him. He can't quite land it, but it's information gathered. Endpoint again settling into this standard default. It needed a miracle retake last time to make it work. This time, at the very least, Mighty Max and Crucial both have the rifles they want. A little bit of util available as well, but they're going to be put under pressure, and actually Crucial's going to abandon that site. Knows he's got to help Mighty Max this time. Out long flies Liaz in towards blue. He's tagged down low, but he's still alive and kicking, and that'll keep the crosshairs busy. As the bomb makes its way up short, this will be an A-site take, and it's going to be a retake attempt from Endpoint. Kirby already through the CT smoke. Looking for heads, looking for anything that's given up to him, and Alistair jumps up. Whack-a-mole for the opening, and that's a big opening as well. They know Liaz was towards long. Mighty Max and Crucial hold it for now, though, and the afterplant positions are awkward. Order have got Inns and Liaz now in towards mid, trying to make their way up short, and Surreal is waiting for exactly that play. Big kill, NertZ finds another, and now it's really just Sico inside of this site. Inns is a long way from home, and as NertZ deals with him, it's a 1v5 for Inns, and he's not interested at all. He's thinking about preservation, the AK, the armor he's got. That's a huge retake. Endpoint, they correct the mistakes of the previous round. It's almost the exact same hit in towards that A site, but this time they hold off far stronger than they've done before.
Yeah, it was basically a clean round. They took a total of 14 damage between Crucial and NertZ, so yeah, they made that one look quite easy indeed. And even with the one rifle, of course, being saved over for Inns, there's just not really the economy there for a buy from Order, so they're going to have to go for the eco. They'll maybe still have Inns in a... No, sorry, he has okay money, actually. I thought he might have been left in a bit of a weird spot, of course, having saved over, but the bomb had gone down as well, so he's all good. Don't really bother with too many pistols. Liaz was able to get Kevlar for himself, so they do at least have a backup for if the rifle goes down. That's always handy. Drop it backwards. Let's see. At the very least, 2 or 3 kills here in this round. Try and come alive in the next gun round, and hopefully then break them down with maybe just even 1, because the economy, of course, hasn't built up much for Endpoint.
Crucial needs to be a little careful. The backup plan is Kirby tucked in close. Wants to try and get that AWP singing. Struggling so far, and Inns actually dropped. Oh, the timing is nasty. Crucial. Nothing he can do. Kirby will be able to respond from that tucked angle, but with Inns deep in CT, this hold becomes very rough. NertZ doing what he can. He knows he needs more, and he can't find it. Inns and Sico combine, and as you said, I mean, this was just about getting damage for the next round. Now, they're starting to think maybe we can get this one on the board. NertZ dead and in the grave. Mighty Max and Surreal trying to make this retake a reality, and if Surreal can't find this player in CT, it feels impossible, surely. Inns with that hero rifle. 3 kills, threads the needle on timing. And Mighty Max has to concede. It's safe to be called. We were painting the picture of maybe 12-8 in order to get the rifles out again. They've done it with the hero AK, the pistols. That one save does it all for them. The gap down to just 2 rounds, and Endpoint. Is that mistake going to prove critical on Dust2?
Yeah, that's really rough. I mean, even with the saved over rifle, I'm not too sure that they're going to want to completely buy into this. They could get M4s and body armor, to be fair, on Surreal and Kirby. They have to get it alongside a few nades as well. But it will just about be the buy, so it might be safer to take that from Nico and then get the investment afterwards, because if they go for the investment now around this M4 and if it doesn't work out for them, then at that point, of course, Order are going to have a massive opportunity to tie things up and maybe even get a bit of a lead going for themselves. They're going to go for it. 4 rifles, definitely very winnable. Surreal should get an M4 as well, unless he wants to get nades. They don't have an op at the moment, unfortunately, to try and match up against Alistair, who's actually been very quiet so far.
To be fair, so is Crucial. Out on the other side of things. 9 and 14, neither AWP are really finding the impact they're after.
Rising for Dust2, of course.
Endpoint back on a knife's edge here. Just about enough utility to contest. They want to go late back into long. There's bodies here. Sico and Liaz on other sides of this smoke. The flashes are good. The flashes are brilliant. Sico able to get 1, but the trades are quickly back in favor of Endpoint. Hatz down to 42 HP as well, and that's a beautifully cool play from Mighty Max. Late retake into long gets them a lot of damage. Hatz and Alistair left to pick up the pieces. Surreal is still anchoring over towards that B site as well, as it's going to be the play out mid. Of course, limited information now for both sides of the equation. Those smokes should be heard by Surreal. Gives him a decent idea what's going on. He tucks himself in, waiting out the utility, lines him up and knocks him down as well. Endpoint with the limited buy, no AWP, as you said, limited utility. Able to get it done with a preset play. They've managed to pull a couple of those out of their pocket. They've had a couple of cheeky plays that have just netted them around when they need them most. And once again, I mean, last round we're talking about Endpoint on a knife edge. It's the exact same for Order here. This buy is a kitchen sinker. They're throwing everything at it. And if it goes wrong, this map will start to slip away.
Oh, It's actually going to go wrong for Endpoint in the initial moments, though. Surreal getting caught by Alistair on the crossover. Yeah, he was. It doesn't even look like he was really trying to fight it. I think he just tried to jump it a little bit late, and Alistair's reactions are ridiculous. So, unfortunately for Surreal, he's not going to be having a chance to contribute to this round at all. So, an early advantage for Order. Not really something we've seen coming in for either of these sides, to be honest. Most of the time, it plays out as a 5-on-5 while the control is taken. It's a little bit later when the picks start to come true. So definitely putting the pressure on Endpoint in a way that they haven't really had to feel so far. And you can see the response from Kirby, unfortunately, doesn't work out. He tried to abuse that smoke, I suppose, in towards mid. It was a little bit deeper, not quite covering the doors itself. Unfortunately, that doesn't work, and now it looks like it's going to be the B split. Slightly slowed by the molly, but not massively, although it does enough to, of course, force the smoke, which makes things so easy for NertZ as they emerge. Having no idea what's waiting for them on the other side. The USP was able to find the third kill, and he's given Mighty Max and Crucial a 2-on-1 that they have a massive advantage in.
Monstrous hold of the B site from NertZ. Almost single-handedly makes this retake a possibility. Hatz to try and pull off the impossible. Tucks himself in. We've seen Surreal in this exact position clutch up. Mighty Max and Crucial looking a group, waiting out that door smoke, knowing that Hatz will have to hold two positions at once. Timing is everything. He goes through the window, and Mighty Max is ready. Monstrous hold from NertZ. That's a 3v5 conversion from Endpoint. The 13th round on the board. The AWP will be saved across. The economy will start to break for Order. Really can't emphasize how important that hold was from NertZ. That round felt like it was a definite to slip away with this early pick on Cross. Followed up by Alistair grabbing Kirby on the re-aggression. That felt like it should be done. That should be game over. But the smoke molly combo, as you said, making it so easy. Clear back to them. NertZ grabs the triple, keeps Endpoint in this. 13-9. Deagles and P250s are out. Should be 14 before Order can buy again, but you don't want to jinx it.
I like it was right after I pointed out Alistair had been a bit quiet that he gets those two picks as well. It's unfortunate it wasn't enough for them to close out the round, of course, in the end, but right now they're not worried about that too much. They've got to focus on this next gun round that's coming up because it is their real last chance this time around. It's about to be 14-9 for Endpoint, and Order will have to look to be flawless for the rest of the map if they want to try and take it. Nice shot by Alistair. The edge drops down as well. They're trying to double peek this. The problem is there's still two more Endpoint players who are happy to go ahead and fight it, knowing that they're only up against pistols while they're keeping the range. And there you go. 14-9 indeed. 5 in the difference. Definitely a scoreline you can recover from. Will they? That's the question. We've got to wait and see now. Order, they need to be, as I said, pretty much perfect.
Pretty much. Near enough, exactly.
Who wants
running out of
overtime?
opportunities.
They definitely don't want overtime. They want to be taking this win here as convincingly as they can. Take away Endpoint's map choice. They put themselves in a great position for Mirage at that point. It's not looking too likely, but they can dream.
Certainly can. They're dreaming now. Kirby charging up mid. Needs to get out of dodge here. Alistair was watching for it. Lucky to be alive here, Kirby, as he will make his escape up short somehow. A little bit of madness called in the early moments there by Endpoint, but they get away with it. A little bit of a tag onto Alistair as well. Puts him to a one-shot headshot for the M4A1. How important might that be? It's Crucial posts himself on mid. Quiet day, as you said, for both the AWPers. Conceding that mid control, not wanting to over-aggress. Knowing that Alistair has been holding that angle pretty consistently. Starting to work his way down. Oh, there was a foot spotted, not dealt with. Crucial with the shot fired, has to retreat, gives up that control. And again, Endpoint just turtle into this setup. Two players out long with the third actually Crucial rotating in to support. It's the mid-B split that's been called by Order though. And once more, it's going to be into the shoulders of NertZ and Surreal, which the shove comes. How much of a hold have they got in them this time? Surreal, off angle behind the car. The flash is excellent though for Hatz, and Liaz is there to find the second. Nothing NertZ can do from backside. Kirby with the consolation kill, but it is Order who come away with it. Immediately the save is called by the CT side. Kirby, well, I say immediately the save is called. He's deep into spawn, trying to take rifles away, and Inz is having none of it. Clean headshot. Crucial now will be desperate to hold on to their AWP. Will form the backbone of a buy if they want to go for it into the next round. But Order are not done with Dust2 just yet, Dean. They've got a fight in them yet.
Yeah, definitely. We did predict that this would probably be the closest match of the day for us here on the B stream anyway. There was some close matchups over on the A stream. From what I can recall, the FTW Sprout game managed to go all the way, right? Before the upset did come in. 14-10, 4 rounds in the difference. Economy pretty much ruined, although with the weapon saved, of course, they'll still manage to get the one rifle on Kirby and then a little bit of a drop into Mighty Max, so they can just about work it out. Thankfully, one player could buy for himself because they only had enough to drop the one. We go around that, for Order at least, could potentially propel them up towards 12, and at that point then they're only looking at another couple of gun rounds before they could potentially steal that victory away. Despite, of course, being on the brink of death here for a little while, facing down against 14. Fairly long control. A lot of presence around here, though. They don't really have much elsewhere. They've got ins, making sure no one pushes through tunnels, at least, and around towards the spawn. There's no presence around short. There's no presence around the lower tunnels to know if maybe even some mid-aggression has come through. So they will, for now, at least just hold off and wait and see what exactly Endpoint may be up to.
Used a lot of their utility as well, Order, getting into that position. Only 2 smokes remaining, so if they want to go for this long cross, they're only going to have 1 crack at it. Endpoint still with a handful of smokes and a molly as well to potentially stall things out. And as you said, a real lack of control now for Order. You can see Endpoint starting to stretch the limits of where they can clear. Mighty Max has been up short. NertZ is starting to make his way out mid into those lower tunnels. They want to make sure they get this stack call right. Currently 3 players over towards A as Order are going for a quiet contact here. Behind the CT smoke, looking to push on up. Ins has been found. And that starts to give the game away a bit. They start to think they know what this setup is. Not willing to rotate just yet, but here we go. Hatz through the smoke has found 1. Crucial gives himself an off angle to work with and a clean headshot onto Hatz as well. He knows there's more coming and he keeps on flicking. Just distracting from Mighty Max is Crucial. He's got all 3. NertZ on the backstab finishes the job, and that is a monstrous A-hold from Crucial. We said he'd been quiet, but he shows up at the right moment and he finds map point for Endpoint.
He's been quiet for the majority of the game as well, so that is the perfect time for Crucial to just pop off out of absolutely nowhere, and, well, a fantastic little one-way smoke as well that he manages to do it with. Damn. We mentioned the ops in general have been kind of quiet, but they're both having a round every now and again where they're managing to take it over single-handedly, and that was a clear standout there from Crucial. Will there be any life left in Order now? Probably enraged a little bit after how that one went down. Hopefully they've still got some fight left in them, because 5 rounds T-side in a row, D2, very, very doable.
Certainly is, but you got to land your smokes first up.
Yeah.
That actually allows Kirby to get closer to it as well, knowing that his feet aren't visible. B-pop is going to be called here. Surreal up close and personal, has the smoke to stall, and here it comes. Timing going to be just about everything. The flash is not really catching their men. They try and jump on out. It's a 1-for-1 for Surreal, but NertZ is there. 2 kills from the window to back his man up, and Alistair's now got to get out with no support. They're trying to buy time for this backstab from Hatz. He will get the timing for 1. Kirby goes down, but Alistair is still stuck. He might actually want to go back into these tunnels. He's playing in and around this smoke. Crucial's got his pistol out to try and convert. Hatz and Alistair find a killer piece, though, and now it's all Crucial. Deagle, 1v2. Switches to the orb, wants the shot and lands it. That's bomb down. 40 seconds left. He knows the last man is low. Timing is going to be everything, and Hatz finds the headshot. He had to. He was a bullet from death, and Order have clawed that one back from the grave. An 11th round they had no business winning, but they are not going to go down quietly.
You can see the confidence that Crucial had in himself right there after obviously the clutch in the previous round. That fantastic shot there to take out the bomb carrier, making his way back down ramp. And clearly it had been called that the final player was low health because he swapped straight out to that rifle to go for the peak. But yeah, Hatz deals the instant headshot, and with that now we get again a lifeline for Order that really shouldn't have been there. They managed to steal away around, find an opportunity, and let's see whether they can build off of it, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty rough force buy actually coming in from Endpoint. I thought they were just going to take the eco. It's what it was looking like. Would have made sense as well, considering the current scoreline. They would have got a pretty good buy in this next round, even though they only get the 1900 loss bonus. But now they think they can finish it like this, I suppose. 2 M4s of a mass, an MP9 and a Deagle. It's not bad, especially since they know Order themselves are probably just about scraping together their own buy once again.
That was a 2v4 conversion from order between Hatz and Alistair. Considering Alistair didn't even have the AWP, he was stuck with the AK-47. Monstrous stuff from order. And like you said, a slightly rough around the edges. Force buy comes in from Endpoint. Perhaps aware this will be their best shot for a while. Got a little bit of a cushion to play with, 4 rounds. Certainly no need to rush it. NertZ wants this aggression, wants this timing, and he's going to get it as well. Flashed in. We'll give the game away a little bit. Inns turns. Looks to cover it, but for now at least, Endpoint have confirmed that that's open. And with this kind of a force buy, you wouldn't blame them going for a gamble stack. Getting those rifles in place. NertZ and Surreal. Going to leave one over towards B. They'll start to rotate Surreal back through mid. Bomb on short. Inns is still lurking in those upper tons on B, though. He's not willing to give that possibility up just yet. And here we go. Crucial in and around the smokes. Hoping that someone drops into his crosshairs. Instead, they'll start to cross. Crucial just waiting, biding his time, hiding in and amongst the smokes. The 2 players on long have no interest in this initially. They want to be part of the late retake. We've seen this plan before. Bomb will go down. Heavy short presence available for the T side on this occasion. And Endpoint with a bit of a decision to make here.
Can't save, I presume.
It looks like they're calling it. I thought they might have a crack at this one. Sico on short will start to open things on Mighty Max, and that's it. Decide that without the utility, that A site retake's just not going to happen. Tuck tail and run deep into the B site. They look to hide to hold onto these rifles, but you've got to imagine there's going to be a bit of a hunt at the very least from Liaz and Inns, who are only on Galil's. Surreal spots the first coming in. And now you can see Order know what's going on. They know this is going to be the call to save, and they can start to think about hunting down these remaining bits and pieces. Bomb goes off, 12 on the board, just 3 rounds required for Order to force OT.
Yeah, it's looking doable. And again, the save coming in, does it influence them to keep on pushing the issue with the force buy? I hope not, because they have enough that they can just take the eco here. 2400, sure, it won't give them the most perfect buy ever in this next round. There'll be just basic nades really behind the rifles, but at least they have a decent chance here. They have a couple rifles, a couple M4s rather, and then a FAMAS that can potentially do something and maybe still give them a decent chance at winning the round. And then they'll have their opportunity in this following round as well. And it's quick long control, just straight up coming in from Order. Decent spawns, flashes out, dealing with the mid control it looks to be as well. And it was actually just NertZ who charged up. Crucial was here, but wasn't really in position to support, unfortunately. And now they're going to double swing on him, it looks like. He's actually called in for some assistance and they back away. Yeah, might not expect them to be so close considering they just cleared it.
His timing is going to be everything. He's got them pinned in. It's allowed for the rotation as well. Everyone is home for Endpoint. Admittedly, it's not a lot. Surreal's M4A1 is the real kicker here. And Crucial's timing is going to be everything. Liaz might turn and check this. There's 4 players. He is going to turn back. And right as Crucial looks the wrong way, he gets him. Now just Surreal, the only man with any real say in this one. Mighty Max inside of the site, trying to just buy time, trying to get this boost sorted. Surreal will find 1. Quick trades, though, leave him as the last man standing with that rifle against 3. Bomb inside of the site, and he wants to get out of here. The buddy hops are solid. He'll escape with his life and with his gun. 13 on the board for Order. We said this one was going to go down to the wire. Well and truly is now. NertZ doing all he can to get Endpoint over the line. 27 and 17 for the rifler. Teammates just not quite able to join him, though. We're just 2 rounds in it. This is it. This is the buy. We may well decide if we need OT to separate these 2 teams or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing an overtime. We're only on map 1 here as well. We've got Mirage and maybe even an Inferno decider, so this could be a banger of a series for sure with what we're getting so far. As you said, NertZ, yeah, he's having a ridiculous game. Obviously, we initially pointed out Kirby as the player we'd be watching since he is the newcomer, but we did also give NertZ a quick shout out saying he was another one of those players that was just plucked out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know what Endpoint do. They must have some secret website that they go to that just shows them cracked players, because they seem to pick them out of thin air. I know there's a lot of homework that goes on behind the scenes, but
of children they're teaching to play Counter-Strike. That's what it is. Yeah. They let the best ones play.
diminishing what I'm sure is a ton of scouting work, but there we are.
My explanation's better. Oh, the nade damage. I think that was a team nade as well. It works out for them, though, just because who would expect him to run in with his own teammate's nade?
Yeah, I think they were trying to use it somewhat like a flash in that it kicks up that extra little bit of smoke, makes the fight more awkward. Gets them a kill, gets them a rifle as well into the hands of NertZ. Alistair immediately plucks away the first rifle, though. Surreal goes down, and again, it's going to be this hit in towards the A site. Again, it's going to ask some questions of Endpoint. With Crucial and Mighty Max in towards the pit. You've got 2 rifles here, and not a bad belt of utility either. You've opted to save. Do you want to save even more? Or are you going to think about giving this one a go? No kit available on this occasion. Alistair works his way towards short. Smoke locks both rifles out of the equation for now. Kyobi's going to go through it with the flash. There's multiple bodies there, though. Hatz gets it. And from here, it should just be about mopping up the remaining pieces. You have to imagine NertZ will try and keep his hands on the rifle. Mighty Max doing what he can to make it expensive. Keeps them busy inside of the site at the very least. Will secure the reinvestment, but Sico finds his man, and now NertZ now last up. Just trying to keep them busy on short, trying to make sure they can't escape. He's going to go for this as well, try and take a couple more away right at the death. A couple of exit kills. Hatz caught in midair, will be found. A nice stat padding kill if nothing else, and there is going to be the full 30 rounds here on map 1. The finest of margins separating Endpoint and Order. We said we thought this would be the banger series of the day, and we are being proven absolutely right. Pause called by Order, you can understand it. They're 1 round away from forcing OT on Endpoint's map pick. And the buy, well, it will come in for Endpoint. They will have what they want. Could even pull the double AWP if they really wanted to. NertZ hasn't bought yet. Could that be the catalyst they need to change things on the CT side of D2? It's going to be the call. That's a bold move. You can't really play retake with those double AWPs. You're going to have to fight them off at source.
To be fair, they haven't been trying the retakes anyway. They would have to this time around, but they haven't been big fans of them even when they have only the 1-up to work with. Most of the times, though, it is understandable the saves coming in, especially when you're on 15. You should be just focused on trying to get that 1 round that you need, optimizing your chances at all points. But here we go. Let's see if the double op setup is the change that they need. There's also an opposing double op. I'd imagine with a rifle to be retrieved back into spawn, they have that bit of extra cash left over. It seems like we're just getting a fairly standard default here to start things out. Nothing too crazy coming in. Endpoint just get a player down into the pit as well for themselves. No early long control. Looks like it's going to be the Xbox smoke going down to get the control around short.
Oh, NertZ.
But a pick in the meantime, yeah, came in for NertZ. I think he was playing the up-close angle over towards the tunnels, and well, Inns gets caught completely off guard by it. This will be a heartbreaking way for Order to lose it out if it happens here after making their way all the way back up to 14. I feel like I see this way too often.
That's a really nice micro play from NertZ. They've been shouldering that angle consistently, dropping the smoke and running. This time he posts the AWP, trusts himself. And as you said, lands what could be a heartbreaking opening. Still time. Still bodies available for Order to throw at this one in the 4-on-5. There is a half-decent stack now available over towards this A site. 3 players here. Bomb again to go for a walkout short. Kyobi's in trouble. The Molotov forces him into the open, but Crucial's got his back. First shot lands. He's seen Sico as well. He knows where the second man is. Now the second prong of the push comes in to try and back him up. Sico on the site. Doesn't expect Kyobi up close. Bomb down. Alistair and Liaz left to try and recover the situation. Liaz is herring it down mid, and he will deal with the secondary AWPer. NertZ is gone. Still got to get up short, though, with 25 seconds left on the clock. Alistair scoped up. He knows there's pit presence. He knows Max is there, but he can't clear him without clearing Crucial first. Legs his AWPer. Can't find it. Tech9 will convert, but he's traded immediately, and it's Endpoint. 16-14. Skin on your teeth stuff, but they get it done. Dust2 is theirs, and we'll be back to break it down in just a couple of minutes.